Well, hello everyone. I'm just driving along and I was thinking about, relationships, and, self-love. Everyone says, you can't love another till you love yourself. And that's very true, and we got to work on ourselves in order to learn to love ourselves, right? Really, because I don't think it's an easy job to love ourselves and to accept ourselves. To accept ourselves for the mistakes we've made in our past, learning to love ourselves despite not being perfect. Oh my gosh, there's that word again. I constantly use the word perfect a lot, probably more often than I should. But it's not because I feel I can be perfect, I strive for perfection. So that means because I strive for perfection, I'm always looking for ways to improve myself or whatever it is that I am doing. So, so for me, when I had to learn to love myself, it was very difficult. And during that time, though, you can put up walls, and those walls that you put up actually turn into defense mechanisms, which really stops you from really loving yourself fully, right? Because now you can't express yourself fully because you're hiding behind these walls that you have put up. And it's not easy. I mean, I know for me, I had a severe heartbreak happen to me. I've brooded my whole life, my kids, everything, and I really thought that was everything, a soulmate or twin flame or whatever. I really thought that was her, and really, it turned out to be, because it turned out to lead me on the path to myself, which I feel is the twin flame journey, right? Finding your true version of yourself, your flame, your inner flame, merging your two inner energies together, your masculine energy and your feminine energy, and merging those together to form one solid flame. And does that mean the work is done? Hell no. The work is never done from my experience. And so as you're learning to love yourself, you have to be really careful not to put those walls up and hide behind those walls, because when those walls go up, it kind of makes it hard for you to open up to another. And you might open up to another, but only to a certain degree. And then as soon as something shifts or something reminds you of an old situation, you're going to climb up and you're going to go back and hide behind those walls you built so you don't get hurt again. And I speak from experience. I mean, really, I do. I mean, a lot of when I share these random thoughts, it's based off of experiences from my personal self and my life. So it's not just something that I read in a book or whatever. A lot of these thoughts are things based off of my personal experiences. So, again, getting back to loving yourself, learning that. So if it takes work to love yourself, do you think it takes work for a relationship to stay in healthy working order? And do you feel like, just like I look at a relationship kind of like a plant, right? Like once you get it to sprout, you got to keep watering it, and even after it blossoms, you got to keep watering it. I mean, just because it blossoms doesn't mean you stop watering it. And I think that's, again, I speak from experience, and I speak from my own personal experiences with that. So you got to keep watering it, like the small things that you did in the beginning that brought you together with that person or whatever it is, with that connection or spark that connection. You got to keep that going. And that doesn't mean you got to go out of your way. It doesn't mean that a relationship is going to be so much work that it's going to kill you. It means that you also have to make sure that you're honoring another avenue of feelings, emotions, another person in your atmosphere, so to speak. And it doesn't mean that you got to sacrifice your atmosphere. It means you got to be willing to share it freely and openly. And I think, again, that's hard to do when you put up walls and you hide behind walls that you put up to prevent yourself from getting hurt again. And again, that's a fear. So we're hiding behind a fear, and that's unhealthy. And so I'm learning to do that. I'm learning to take these walls down. And if something starts, getting a little off or wavering a little bit or teetering, I got to learn to stay true and not just back out because I feel like I could get hurt or whatever the situation could cause me harm. So again, that's just food for thought. So if loving ourselves takes work, and it takes discipline, and it takes compassion, and it takes patience, then does loving another also take those same things? And I feel it does. So thank you for listening, and thank you for again tuning in to my random ramblings, as I call them. So happy hump day, by the way. So it's Wednesday. There'll be no hump for me, but I'm okay with that. It's part of working on myself, and I feel like, again, that's another conversation for a different day. And but anyways, you guys all have a beautiful day, and thank you again for listening to me ramble.